Our once beautiful, thriving country is quite frankly breaking apart at the seams, and we need to talk about it. Welcome back to the Freedom Pines podcast. I'm your host, Jamie A.B. Guys, thank you so much for all of the support that you've given me over the last couple of days. I've had an insanely busy couple of days. And then the day before I left, my internet didn't work. Of course it didn't. And it was the day that the king was here. So it was really annoying that it didn't work because I had a lot to say. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share the video with your friends if you like what I have to say. Also, Budweiser Gardens, the lawn tickets are $30. So if you want to have a date night or take your kids to a concert or do whatever you're doing, just wanted to let you guys know that that is an affordable thing to do in Canada. We need to share things like this, okay? We need to share where the deals are, okay? So I got to thinking, because I know you're wondering, Jamie, you talk about, how Canada is so broken and nobody can afford anything. How did you go to a concert? Well, I did not stay in a hotel. I got ready at an en route. Okay, and then I stayed at my grandparents' house, and I love that. What made me super upset was the fact that I realized that the only reason I was able to even do this, which was drive down, get ready in an en route, go to the concert, and I bought this, but the only reason why we could get this is because these were not translated into Canadian prices, thank God, okay? But it was because of my tax return. That's the only reason. We're at the stage in life, and I say life, but I mean where the only time you can do fun things is when the government gives you scraps. Guys, I'm not kidding you. The sequence of events that have happened in my life to lead me to where I am now, which is speaking out and, living 7 hours away from my friends and family. It's crazy because how much more do we have to give up? How much more do we have to give up to succeed in Canada? Because I gave up my bodily autonomy, when they were like, if you don't get this, you're going to be fired. So I got that, got sick, watched my grandma die a slow, painful, undeserving death, moved 7 hours away because I could no longer work, and the only place my husband was going to get paid really well was Northern Ontario. And the only place where we didn't have a mortgage that was going to be over $600,000 that would fit our family was moving 7 hours north. But how much more? How much more can Canada do to its citizens? Can it lock them in their homes, force them to take money out that they think they're paying into, by the way, because, EI. But no, they tell you 5 years later after that, hey, you took the wrong benefit and we're going to have to take back that entire thing plus interest. Do you know how many people this is happening to? And then I had money stolen from me from my friend who was able to call the cops, like I said. And then someone who was not from here, like I said. And it made me go looking. I was like, this can't just be some sort of coincidence, okay? And that's when I found things like, why is my bank on this website? Can someone tell me that? Why is my bank on the website where the motto is, you will own nothing and you will be happy? Why is this on this website that the motto is, you will own nothing and be happy? Why do our pensions have to invest in assets? Why? Why is the owner of Ontario Hydro on here? And the more I kept digging, the more I found, and the more I found, and the more I found. Canada is being pulled at the seams by every municipality, by every, I would say, CEO of a big business. I would say the federal government, especially, is at the top of that. And provincial social programs, schooling, healthcare. How is it just a coincidence that across Canada, our healthcare is the same? People dying, Do you guys know the statistics for made of who got made? I want to show you right now. 95% of people who accessed made were Caucasian. And if you are really concerned with the AI answer, it's because they stripped it right off of the Canadian website. Okay? Do you guys think that if that was any other race, people would be sounding the alarm bells? Yes or no? Yes or no? I think yes. Okay, number one. Number two, schooling. I worked in the schools. If you guys watched my video about schooling I made the other day, I talked about how bad behavior is rewarded and good behavior is ignored, which is not how you raise good humans and teach them how to function in society. You guys, this government put us into poverty to save the planet. And then I find out this year that people haven't been prioritizing buying Canadian. I have been buying local for years. And that's not something I brag about. It's something I had integrity about, and I just did it. Because what do you mean you're okay with the carbon tax and putting us into poverty to save the planet and nothing else? God forbid we have more greenhouses in the country, okay? God forbid we have that. God forbid we utilize the places that grow. Anyways, because I'm telling you, every single which way in Canada is being attacked so that I'm pretty sure people can come up and buy it and own everything so that we own nothing and that we're happy. I am sick of this. I do not know how Canadians have been so swayed into thinking that this Liberal government is doing anything. The way Mark Miller talks to people. Stephen Gabon wants to charge someone with harassment for asking him questions. That is your job as a politician, to answer to the people that hired you, which is the people of Canada, the citizens of Canada. Guys, not only that, our elections are interfered with. Nothing's done about it. Still, nothing. Nothing being done about it. I'm telling you, people after the election were messaging me, telling me things that people, first of all, people who come here are having, and only certain people, because, you know, the United Nations themselves, which is something that the left loves, says that our immigration system has led to modern day slavery. They ignore that. Or it has led to Canadians being homeless on the street while people who come here from other countries get put up in hotels. This is not some sort of conservative talking point, because I don't even think I've heard a conservative talking about it. Maybe if they pointed these things out during the election, they would be in charge right now. And I don't say that to throw shade, but I'm serious. We needed to be showing the people who Mark Carney and the Liberals are tenfold. And it was my mistake thinking that people would know that these things in their lives are happening because of the government. You know that girl that got punched in the face? She thinks it's a good idea that that man was let back out on bail. That's not even the nice thing to do for someone with mental illness, let alone the other victims that are inevitably going to come. They have convinced women who have been punched in the face, the women who consistently say that they would rather pick a man or a bear over a man, who have been punched in the face by men, that, oh, it's not his fault. He has mental illness. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, usually these sorts of things can lead people to being awake. The things that I've gone through in my life have certainly led me there. Okay? I would also love to know the statistics on how many people of any race were offered made and didn't want to take it. And if this is just like a white person thing, or white people were the only ones offered. That's what I would love to know. Okay? I honestly feel at this point that the government genuinely feels like the government is kicking whoever could be standing up right back down. Genuinely, if it wasn't the last 5 years, I will say that prices of things did noticeably go up during Trudeau, obviously. Not to the point where they were doubled in a couple of years, like the last few years, but I digress. House prices almost immediately went up, and then up and up and up and up and up, okay? We are being so unbelievably screwed at every single angle. And it's truly one of the only reasons, or not one of the only reasons, but one of the main reasons I want to move to Alberta, because it seems like their provincial governments know that they have rights. What is Doug doing to us? What is going on? What kind of a conservative is this? I thought that they were supposed to be cutting taxes, making things work. What is going on with our healthcare system? And like I said, it's obviously across the freaking board, okay? But that's because people only think that people like Doug Ford are in charge of it. No, it's everybody. It's the federal government sets the standard. The provinces do a lot, but the people who are in charge of the day-to-day, is it not the CFOs of the hospitals? People don't even realize that just because we have, publicly funded hospitals, that it doesn't mean that there's not higher ups getting paid astronomical amounts of money to completely drive the hospitals into the ground with inefficiency. Oh my gosh. And another thing that I heard that I absolutely believe, but it's alleged, is that all of this construction nonsense is to drive people crazy so they don't drive. I told you guys, Budweiser Gardens. Go to pull in, can't, because the parking lot's full. Okay, great. So you would think that the security guards there would have and be able to tell me where I can park. No. Just standing there, looking dumb. Because that's how you look when you're standing there, when you work for the venue and you don't have a place to send people who are going to this said event, who know what they're talking about. Oh my gosh. Every aspect of Canada is so unbelievably frustrating. And honestly, if you are here, if you are watching this, if you have your head above water, which I slightly do, count your blessings. So many people over the last 5 years they're gone. They're not coming back because they've missed out on healthcare. They had addiction problems and there was no resources for them. They have health problems. All of the things that Canada has failed Canadians on the most. People should be very concerned about how many people have been gone from Canada in the last 5 years. Because that number, except for last year, 2023, because they didn't even put out 2023 until the end of 2024. And by the way, and tiny little detail there, because it looks like it's the exact same amount. But in the small details you read that there was a bunch that weren't counted from Nova Scotia for some reason. Isn't that interesting in the fine print? So on paper, they look like, it's just the same as it was last year. But tell me why ever since 2021, the death count has gone up and up and up. Elizabeth May has a lot to say about the G word, okay? Are you guys kidding me? The only people who have been benefiting from the government of Canada are that group of people. Because most of the things done for people with disabilities has all been an act. But it's very easy to look virtuous with pride by donating money to parades and basically using capitalism for it. Which is why I never liked it. I never liked them doing all of this because why did you guys have to be forced into doing that? Sorry, I also forgot, if you have survived the rampant crime in Canada, you are also lucky. We are basically in the time of the Hunger Games when they're consistently asking each other what is real and what is not. Because with this new AI stuff, guys, I am not kidding you. What is going on? If you have not watched Person of Interest and you are interested in where this AI nonsense is going, because I'm going to make a video about it, please go watch that show, or at least look up the synopsis and what it's about, because it has the guy from Sound of Freedom in it. Now, at this part of the video, guys, I'm going to convince you why talking about pop culture is also very important. I know that there are a lot of political commentary channels on here who do not touch the social media or pop culture aspect of this. And I appreciate that because they only cover news. But guys, we also need to be covering what is going on in the media. Do you want to know why? Because I remember being younger, hearing about what was going on and believing everything that I saw. As in, I was convinced about things that are genuinely not possible. And until Blair White told me in a video, I was delusional enough to believe these things, okay? So we need to pay attention to what's going on in pop culture because it greatly impacts our political landscape. Like, just like online with the pro-choice stuff with the liberals and the conservatives. I don't think people actually know the weight of them saying that Pierre Poilievre was lying. He was going to use the notwithstanding clause to get rid of abortion. That is what they were saying online, and it made an impact, and we need to talk about things like this. Like the other day, you guys, deranged. I saw a comment from these supposed feminists who said, I do not understand why women do not just abort their fetuses if it's before the age of 25 indefinitely, like should be the rule. This stuff impacts the way that people think, and I am not kidding you. And I think it's part of this whole entire plan to get us as far away from our roots as possible to rely on the government. And I am not kidding. I am not kidding. So I am also going to be remaking my left pipeline, right pipeline, because it just was not safe and it was very annoying. And it ended up getting corrupted files when I went to go redo it. I have no idea. But I need to redo them. So please understand when I am covering social issues, like pop culture, social issues, that it is because we need to cover these things and what they mean in landscape. I'm telling you guys, on the left, they politicize everything. They genuinely politicize having kids. They think that having children is not what I think it is, which is the only thing that connects us to our ancestors, to our roots, to history, birth and death. Birth and death, having children is something we have done from the beginning of time, and they genuinely think it's some sort of capitalistic ploy to have children for the system, as if they're not working their entire lives for the man. And they love that you're not taking time off, by the way. People are still going to continue to have kids. They love the fact that women do not want to, and that's fine, by the way. You can choose whatever you want to do. But I'm just rebutting to what I have seen, because these are the insane things that are shaping young people's minds that we need to talk about, and we need to look out for, and we need to challenge people on them. Politely, as Ali Beth Stuckey says, raise a respectful ruckus, okay? But Canada is in desperation. Canada is in desperation. So please share all of our independent podcasts. Please, stream us. Please put them wherever. If you think that we have value to what we're bringing to the table and we're a different voice than CBC, please share, because we are not put out into the out there. Northern Ontario as well, right? We are not put into the algorithm because we're telling the truth, and they hate it. So anyways, guys, I gotta get going because there are bugs all around me, but I'm so sorry for the lack of video. I'm gonna answer a bunch of comments after my video is uploading today, and thank you guys so much for the support. Honestly, I could not do this without you guys. It still amazes me that I even have 2,000 followers, and I am beyond grateful for you guys. There's another bug. Okay, I gotta go. Have a good one, guys.